Okay, so it's my Monday, but technically it's Tuesday because it's like right around 2:30 a.m. So I think in my last video I showed that I took the breeder box down and you can see all three platies, or sorry, I keep, just like the last video, all three swordtails flying. Am I high right now? No. I don't know why I'm getting so tongue-tied. Swimming around in the tank right here in the front. There's one of the Placos. There's another Placo right there in that corner. Got my guy. He's right there. So we had our Christmas party. I'll go on here since there's more than one fish. It's more interesting. So we had our Christmas party lunch slash voting for new officers Sunday. Pretty uneventful. Everybody that had a previous position is still in said position. I'm secretary still. No one ran against me. Basically, our president, who's again will be our president for this next year, nominated me. No one had a thing to say. Same with Brian, the officer of, my best friend and the officer of the Breeders' Award program. Our president nominated him. No one had anything to say. I seconded. The guys that sell the food have been doing it for 20 years and they're solid guys and no one had anything to say, and so on and so forth. And then, I think we maybe have one or two new officers at large, which as a secretary, it's my job to write that down. But since my girlfriend was with me, and she rarely is at the meetings, she wrote it down for me. I'd have to go check the book. She did my job, which was nice, because I got to just hang out and not have to worry about responsibility. We had a fried chicken lunch, rolls. My girlfriend and I, we made a broccoli salad. Brian made some kind of crazy thing that he makes every year, and I can't even remember what it is, but no one ever eats it because it's like, it looks like a neon orange lasagna or some shit. But it was a good meeting. We do a raffle. This year, since we had all those problems with trying to find a new place, we started a little late, but usually by October you can start. It's always $20 to sign up for the next year. It doesn't matter what time of year you sign up, but if you do it I think it's usually in October, you get 3 or 4 raffle tickets, and then then November you get, well, I don't know. This year it was October or November. It didn't really matter. You got 2. We didn't have a meeting in December because that's when we had the party. It was technically 2 days ago. You got, I think you got 1 if you just showed up at the party and signed up. But everybody wins. Every ticket you have, you win something. Which is great. We have a guy, I can't think of his name at the moment. He writes emails and letters and phone calls, all these different fish companies, whether it be tanks, filters, food, whatever. and they give they gift our club a lot of the stuff in the raffle for free, just because, I mean, it's good business. If you want people to be, or to get interested in your product, why not give it away to the exact, type of people that are gonna buy it in the future if they like it. So I'm gonna move here. I got a net. It's funny because during the raffle, I was the one handing out the gifts. There's this girl, this guy John, who's the son of a lifelong member, Gary, who unfortunately passed away last year from cancer. Rip Gary. Anyways, his son John's, I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend. I think they're married, but she always like draws the numbers out of the hat or basket or whatever. This year I gave away the prizes, and I just got to do it however I wanted. But I chose the prizes before the number was called, so that it's not like rigged, And it totally seemed rigged. So I got this net. There were nets with almost every prize. And this power head, which quite honestly, it looks like an amazing power head. But I don't use power heads, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Maybe I'll gift it back to the club or sell it, or I don't know. And yeah, it came with the net. But, so, I just bought my new 55 and my new 60. And my 60, it comes with a stand and a light and nothing else. And I was like, oh man, a filter would be great. So we had this. We had this BioWheel 350, and then I think we had a Penguin 400, or maybe a BioWheel 400. And I was like, oh, let's see, 10 or 12 tickets in. I was like, all right, let's get one of the big things out. Let's see who wins this. And she drew my number, and I was just like, oh man, this seems so messed up. But it was random. So, I mean, it worked out. That's awesome. This is gonna be my filter for one of my new tanks. It just seems so rigged, even though I was like telling everyone, like, I swear it's not rigged, and I'm like, oh, the first big filter of the day, I won it. It was funny though. We had these little 3-gallon cube tanks or something, like fully like light, filter, everything. And the same thing happened where, like, I picked up one and I was like, okay, this is the next one. Pick a ticket. And then, like, 12 items later, I picked up the next little aqua cube or whatever it was called, and the same lady won both. So it's just like, oh god, this just totally seems like it's so rigged. And Brian got a decent sized filter, a bag of food, an automatic, like 2 automatic feeders. It just seemed like every time I picked an item that the next ticket would win, it went to someone that I was personally friends with. It was alright though. It was fun. It was cool. Everyone had a good time. We, all those people we kicked out of our group last year, were gone, so there were no arguments or any silliness. Our president, Lynn, is getting pretty old. He's the one that created the group I've been going there since I was 17. So, 15 plus years. He created it several years before that. He's getting old. He's retired. He uses a walker. He can barely get up anymore. We voted him back in because, he's a damn good president when it comes down to it. But he's getting old. And our vice president, Jeremy, who's a great vice president, we always kind of thought he would end up taking over. His daughter, his only child, is going to college this year in Ohio. And they think that they're going to move up there to be close to her. And at the meeting, he said in confidence, and did not tell our president, but just told me and Brian, he said, "You guys are the strongest candidates in this club. I feel like you care about it the most. After I'm gone and Lynn retires, you're going to have to take over." And we accepted it. We always thought we'd eventually take over, but now that it's actually probably going to happen in the next year or two, it's kind of hard to deal with, to wrap my head around. Brian just had his second. Brian and his wife had their second child just 4 months ago or something, if it was even that long ago. He's busy. He works, they're a one. His wife stays at home. So that would leave me to deal with most of the club stuff if Lynn decides to retire after Jeremy leaves. And I'm a slacker, and I'm a jerk off. And as much as I love the club, I know I couldn't handle it on my own. And I know Brian would try to help as much as he could, but the man has a family and a full-time job. Most of the officers besides us are past 55 retired men. So the club is important to me. It's one of the most important things in my life, and I love it, and I don't want to fail it, and I don't want it to die, but I don't know if I have what it takes to actually take charge. It's a real predicament. Brian and I have both kind of seen it coming for a couple years, but we just kind of got nailed with it at the lunch. And I don't really know what to do. But my time is up now. I'm past 14 minutes. I got less than a minute to wrap this up. Ask me about anything animal-wise, fish, reptiles, rodents, dogs, cats, anything. And any suggestions for what I could possibly do to benefit my club, I'd love to hear. Everyone that's watching, thank you for watching. I have 30 seconds left. I'm glad that people are interested and actually like to hear what I have to say. So chime in, hit me up, and thank you. Goodbye.